Sporting touch of hands. Round number one. There's the fast start. And that is the fastest knockout in bare knuckle fighting championship.
K-Bomber, born in the Bronx, raised in Dade. Been in the city since Pitt had braids. Bahapanti parties, plata know how to sneak me out. Now it's 7-figure meetings, every day we lead a house. It's game time, the game's mine, you know the vibe. Yo viajado el mundo entero, rapping 305.
Welcome everybody to episode 18 of Don't Blink. You know I got two nights in the house. I don't go nowhere without them, and I especially do no Don't Blink episodes without them.
Let's go.
Today it's an honor to have a legend, Lorena Garcia, in the building. She's a legend chef. I've been watching you everywhere. You could catch her on, if you've been to the airport, you've seen her name. If you've been to Vegas, you've seen her name. If you watch any food channel, you've seen her name. Lorena, thank you so much for being here with us today, man. It's awesome.
Such a pleasure. I mean, I'm a big fan of yours. Are you kidding me?
Thank you, man.
I mean, my God, number one. That's all I have to say.
Oh my God, that's crazy. She just brought us some chicken wings we just tasted.
Yes.
Amazing.
Light and right. Do you like that? Light and right? I mean, I thought about your diet.
I love
so
it.
So I, baked them and, made it nice and tangy.
When you first come in, you say you brought food. I was like, my heart sank. I was like, oh my God, I can't eat this because of the diet. Then you said, no, they're baked. I'm like, let me get one right now.
I jumped on it quick.
It was amazing.
Right.
Finger-licking.
Yeah, no, amazing. It's truly an honor to have you here. I've been watching you for years on TV. What's funny is every time I get ready for a fight and I have to lose weight, I get obsessed with food things, and I start watching food shows, and I write my little list on what I'm going to eat when I finish, when I can't eat. And I watch you all the time. So it's amazing to have you here. Thank you again so much for being here with us, man.
Of course. Now, I want to know something. Yes. I know that, I'm going to answer all your questions, but what do you eat before a fight and what do you eat after?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, she came in swinging off rip. Don't blink. She's in the building.
Great question. And listen, this is a conversation. This is not just, it goes both ways. So it's great. Great question. So leading up to a fight, like for this one, I have to lose some weight. So it's small portions. It's very clean eating. You know what it is: chicken and quinoa and things like that, vegetables. And that's even after the day I win, leading up to the fight night. So my stomach is good because we want to put no grease or anything that my body's not used to, and then I'm in the ring.
Exactly.
Do
you measure, for example, the portions that you eat?
I do. Everything's measured. Yeah, everything's measured. I do a lot of intermittent fasting where I don't eat for about 16 hours from like the night before to the next day. I work out on empty stomach, and that makes it easy for me to lose weight. And then after the fight, whatever, everything I missed out on, and then you know what? Sometimes I get mad at myself because like I overeat. Like it feels like I'm not gonna live till tomorrow, so I gotta do everything today, and then I'm like, I hate myself,
Of
but
course.
but I love food. and
you enjoy it.
I
right?
really do enjoy food. I really do enjoy food.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So even while training, like the food that you have to eat, you enjoy it, right? Like,
no. So while I'm training and I get these portions, I eat very little, maybe 3 times a day. I real slow, chew 100 times. I get every flavor,
So
I get
it's calorie based.
I leave a couple stuck between the back teeth, taste it later. But yeah, no, I definitely.
And it's calorie based. Like it's calorie based.
Oh yeah, it's calorie based. Yeah. To lose weight, it has to be a certain amount of calories. So I eat about between 1,200, maybe a little under 1,200 a day, depending where my weight's at. Yeah.
And because you're working out, then you're burning all these calories, so you're already losing it if you're going under the calories, right?
Exactly. Yeah, Are you getting ready for a fight?
I'm here.
According to those wings, she was fighting in the kitchen before she came in here, boy. She said, "Chickadee." Tell us about the sauce. What was that sauce that you told me?
So, in my office, what I call, which, you see in my kitchen, it's all about testing and creating new recipes for my restaurants, for my books, for my shows. I mean, everything that I am, doing. But I'm a true cook. Yeah. I try to stay grounded in the kitchen.
Wow.
So that's what I do. We develop recipes and, the content that we do in all our social media.
Yeah, no, and it's channels. Like we say this every show, and we said it right before we started here. It's like, if you do what you love, you're not working a day in your life. And your office is what you love, your kitchen. I've seen it. It was amazing.
Yes.
We got to throw Mike's birthday party there. It was awesome. No, and when we walked in there, I was like, Lorena Garcia, the chef? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, bro, I love her. It was amazing. I didn't know that. By the way, I saw you got a belt there. It looked like a boxing belt. Where do
Sugar Ray Leonard.
That's an idol. That's
yes, and that's how I have it
legend.
mounted. I mounted in a crystal, so you can see the other side. He signed it, and Top Chef Masters. I'm in the 5th episode, which is leading to the semifinals, and here he comes. Sugar Ray Leonard, and the 5 of us were frozen. He said, "Okay, this is what you do when you get ready for a fight." So I'm listening to this man, like exactly what he does when he prepares. He said, 30 minutes, 45 minutes before I go out, I don't let anybody with me. I'm in the zone. I'm just putting myself through the fight, and then winning. But it's all the visualization and getting into that zone. So don't let any distractions get to it. So come the next day, I do that. I go into, a little room, I try to stay away from the group. I totally got into that. How am I going to go through not knowing the ingredient, not knowing the what am I cooking with, in 350 people around me, national television. I mean, it's like crazy.
Yeah, pressure, right.
It's all about, and it's your career. This is what I do. I cook.
Yeah.
So we go in, then huge professional ring. Sugar Ray Leonard is there with 4 of the most big critics in the United States for food.
Wow.
Oh my
and
God.
And one by one, everything was covered in the ring.
Right.
So everything, let's say the table was
proteins
covered. So all the ingredients,
right.
all the equipment, everything. So we had a secret ingredient. So we got presented. So it was one against the other in the ring. So you see all these people rooting for one and then rooting for another one. And I just went off. And I took one by one. I took 2 of them. And then at the end, I won!
That's amazing.
Let it rip.
No, and let me tell you, everything you just said is what I do before a fight. I visualize, and not only the day of, but like leading up to the fight, I visualize the fight. I see myself winning, and over and over and over and over. And I manifest it at the end. Once I win, I feel like it's a manifestation of everything I've thought about. So that's amazing.
100%. And at the end, the last ingredient was sugar.
Oh wow!
So they unveiled
Sugar Ray.
everything. Yeah, Sugar Ray. So they unveiled everything, and I had a toaster and a little pot, and I made 3 desserts in 20 minutes. So I figure, and at the end, I threw my hand in the pot of sugar and I threw it out and say, if I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win it. If I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose so bad that it's gonna be embarrassing. But I just wanted to give it my all.
That's amazing. That's
That is
amazing.
awesome.
So she's also a MacGyver in cooking. You get her anything and she'll cook it up. That's amazing. Lorena, please tell us where you were born and raised, and what led you into this career.
I was born in Venezuela and I moved to this country very young, 20 years old, and I went to law school actually, and that was kind of my path through my family. And I got a little meaning attack when I had to go and read books to the top when I graduated, and I always loved cooking. I always had the passion.
Where did you move to from Venezuela? You came to Miami?
To Miami.
Okay,
yes,
nice,
yes. Moved all over the country, and then Miami was the place. And it was one of those things that when I had the opportunity to go to culinary arts, I said, "Mom, here's your degree for law, and I'm thankful for it, but I need to do what I'm passionate about." Very scary.
Of course,
very scary.
100%.
Because you're
It's
working
scary to chase a dream.
Yes, because I had an office, I had an opportunity to have a job, but drop all of that and go to culinary school and start all over is, but the best decision that I could have ever made.
Of course.
In here, and in the group, and everybody that's here, part of the team, we have a thing that's called let it rip. So at that point in your life, you was like, look, if I go this way, which I don't want to do that, I want to go this way. So you let it rip. You said, let's go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to force myself. I'm going to learn whatever I need to learn and do whatever I got to do. And man,
I made it happen.
Hell yeah.
That's amazing. And you're Venezuelan, Latina. So did you learn in the kitchen from your mom, your grandma? Was it always in your household a lot of cooking going on, or is it funny that they don't know how to cook and you're the expert?
a little bit of both. My mother is a great cook, but she loves her nails and her makeup, so she doesn't like the kitchen. So for that part, but when she goes in, my grandmother was a fantastic cook. That's kind of where I remember, and Doña Rosario Latin Delights, which is the brand that I created. Let me show you.
Yes.
Please bring that into the screen. Right there.
I started with the flan and the tres leches, which I only brought you the box. Thank God they're sold out, so I'm super excited.
Let's go. Sold out, gang. Woo!
Yes.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Is that abuela?
That's abuela.
That's awesome.
So I did
That's
the packaging, my grandmother's recipe, and that's it. That's home cooking as its best. and I wanted to bring it to everybody in an affordable way.
Where can people find this?
They can find it at Walmart.
Okay.
I'm in Central Florida, and very, very soon we will be nationwide.
I can't wait. Damn. I know where your office is. I'm coming for a couple of boxes.
No, for sure.
After the fight.
Absolutely. Which I was telling you, I'm extending the invitation because after the fight, I want to feed you.
Oh my
Hey,
God!
let's
you.
go.
Oh my God, that's huge.
Bueno, mira, yo
Hey,
soy
you heard
Me
it
too?
live.
You're there, of course. You're there too.
Oh my
Don't
God!
blink family.
No, that's amazing.
Y
That's
mira,
amazing.
y yo voy a probar esto hoy y yo te voy a decir que lo que
Oye,
this is
mira,
amazing.
eso, y lo bueno es que después de que lo puedes tener en el congelador hasta por 6 meses, agarras un cuchillito y se lo pasas alrededor y lo pones en un plato y lo volteas y todo el mundo no te va a creer que no lo hiciste. Tú dices, esto lo hice yo ayer.
Oh my God!
I
No,
can't
but you know
wait.
what?
I can't wait.
You could lie to people and say you did it, or you could say Lorena Garcia game is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. This box right here.
Which, in my case, would be more believable too.
Te lo recibo.
Yeah. Oh no! Listen,
I can't wait to taste that.
You just made my day. I can't wait to win this fight and go celebrate with food from you. My God!
Yes.
You know it,
Oh
you
my
know
God!
it.
I'll be your sous chef.
Let me tell you, I am a huge fan of yours. I think
you.
that your
Thank you.
commitment, everything that
Thank
you're
you.
doing, it takes a lot of effort,
Thank
and it's not easy.
Thank you. And let me tell you, I honestly, this is not to be funny. This is super serious. It touches my heart for you to say that because I've been a fan of yours for years, and it's crazy for me to be in this position, and for a person like you to tell me that. Thank you so much. Thank
Of
you.
course,
Yeah.
no, it's not my absolute. When Mike told me, my beloved friend, I love Mike.
Yeah,
He's like family to me.
No, we all love
Yes.
Mike. Mike is family.
Mike is
Yeah.
He's the guy behind the camera you never see.
Yes, exactly. But making it happen.
Yeah,
yes.
he does. He does make it happen. Absolutely. Lorena, I see you had in 2002 you had a cafe in the Miami Design District.
Yes.
Now I want to tell you something about that because I lived in Wynwood in 2000, 2001, 2002. That was a bad place to be back then. So I can imagine having a business. How was that back then? How for you? And how did it go? Was what was the
Imagine,
experience?
I mean, that was the beginning of my career. I was working so many hours for so many people, so many places that I said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it for myself. And I, borrowed $40,000 and I opened my restaurant.
Back then, wherever you were at was right now it's probably multi-million-dollar place. You know what I
yes.
mean? Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
And back then it was like they'll give it to you.
Yeah.
But then, you can have it. You want to work here? Go ahead.
Yeah, and that was it. There was nobody there. And that's why I said, you know what, I'm going to plant myself here and I'm going to cook my butt off and I will do the cooking and the prepping. And that's how I started. And it was a fantastic experience because I continued to grow throughout the entire time that I was there until I left. And then I came back with, Chica and all these restaurants.
No, it's amazing. You're still growing. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Always growing.
When did it stop? Never.
Never.
No, it's awesome. And how did you get to TV, to Top Chef Masters? Did somebody put you in there, or they talked about you?
Interested enough, I was in my restaurant cooking, and it was Valentine's Day, and I see this crew of 5 people with cameras and all that, starving, and every single restaurant was booked because it was Valentine's Day.
Yep.
So I said, well, you can sit in my bar, I'll serve you, and I'll put it right there. You know what I mean? And yes, they loved it, and they were doing little gems. Best restaurants in Miami.
Wow.
And they did a piece with me for 15 minutes, an interview, and then out of that, Gourmet and Fox called me and they said, we love this interview, we want to offer you a show. And just like that, kind of.
Right place, right time, and a blessing from God. Thank you.
Yes.
No, and having a good heart too, because
Yes.
she saw them and she didn't have to, but she was just like, let me just.
And of course, doing your craft. Which
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
at the
of course.
Yeah.
Of course, which that's great that you said that because I see you're very passionate about what you do. Obviously, you're amazing at what you do. What do you demand that? Do you expect anything from the people that work for you? Do you expect that high level?
I do. I try to be a lot of a mentor. I try to not thinking that everybody knows it. So I think the communication and the vision and, everything that takes to kind of everybody's rowing on the same direction. That's kind of what I'm all about. But
She said the word mentor, man. That's a really good word and
Absolutely.
a really good way to switch the narrative and then see it as possibly I want to help. I'm part of, and I understand that there's going to be a process to.
And she's in that position to do that because everybody's, all her accomplishments, people are looking up to you for like, I need an answer, Lorena. What do I do? So
exactly.
That's awesome. You know what's funny is about 3 weeks ago, I was in Las Vegas. I was staying at the Venetian for a press conference for a fight. And I'm walking through the Venetian. Like, obviously, I already knew about you, but now I felt like I was a little closer to you because I went to your office for his birthday party. And, like, I felt like a little bit, even though we haven't met in person, I felt a little bit closer. Like, do I know her? Not really, but almost,
I can talk to her if I want to.
Right. But I'm walking through the Venetian, and I look, and behind a glass case, it says Lorena Garcia, like in a book. I'm like, I called you. I called Mike. I'm like, Mike, Lorena Garcia. So, and I've come to find out you're the first woman with a restaurant in a strip, in Las Vegas Strip.
Can you believe the first Hispanic, the first Latina?
First Latina woman. Wow,
yes,
it's huge.
The first Latina chef to have a restaurant on the Strip.
That's awesome.
It's only 5 women with over 4,000 restaurants in the Strip. So it's yes.
There's 1,001 hotel.
There's actually 40 restaurants at the Venetian. I'm the only woman. Yes.
Wow.
So
congratulations on that.
dream come true.
I mean, Uly, we got to go to Vegas to do the interview with Schmo. So while we're over there interviewing with Schmo,
we're eating at Lorena.
Yeah,
100%.
Of course,
100%.
you just let me know and we will,
100%.
we'll make sure that you have a great time.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait. No, we're eating at your office. We're eating there. Everywhere. Now that I do know you, I'm putting my Lorena card everywhere at the restaurant.
We're going to go on tour to all the Lorena spots.
For real. We're doing a food crawl with just Lorena restaurants.
Oh my God! Talk about food crawl. That what you just mentioned about what they were doing and doing like the reviews on the restaurants.
Yeah, little gems
amongst ourselves. We have this great idea, and it's called food crawl, where we would.
Is this a pitch?
No. I mean, it could be where we would visit local, not just restaurants, but it is almost like mom and pop spots. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll take the camera, we'll take the crew, we'll take ourselves. We'll go and we try it. And one of us in the group, the key thing with the food crawl is that the restaurant selection, it has to have something that one of the people that's in the group might not like. So to get their reaction of like,
I don't need that. But then you go try it there. You're like,
but then you have to try it because you're part of the food crawl. Like, you're going to turn us down.
You have to.
You have to try it. So that was pretty cool. I just want to throw
That's
it in
awesome. I love that idea. That's really cool.
Hey, write that down, Mike.
Hey, Mike, write that down. We're going to use a card.
So, hey, Lorena, last year was a hard year for everybody. Like I said, I say this all the time. I don't like to brag, but last year was one of the best years of my life. It was very hard. It started off very hard. We had to figure things out. Brought the hustler out of people, and we came up with things. We came up with this podcast. I got my 3-second knockout. A lot of great things happened for me last year. How did you cope with that? With all your restaurants, with you being owner of a lot of restaurants, a lot of things had to get shut down. How were you able to handle that whole COVID thing last year?
Yes, definitely one of the worst days of my life, I think, was in the same week we had to let go over 500 people. It was intense, all the restaurants closed. So, yeah, it was definitely difficult, but, you just turn around and then, okay, how do you change? What is it that you need to do? And, I think social media, all my, social media channels that we were trying to do. Maria Corina is here with me. My everything.
Put the camera on her for a second.
That's the worst thing that you can do. She does everything behind the camera.
She just turned red.
She's like 10 different colors.
And she's in the shadows too, and you can still see it.
Totally. And we built a strategy that was exactly what I was going to do next. Is really focusing to all the social media platforms. And here came, the pandemic, and then I had the time. I had the time to be able to do it well, and, now has, totally take off. So it's fantastic.
Amazing.
And, just brought another layer of what we do. But at the same time, how we can change the things in the restaurant. So when we come back, we'll come back better and, change and just being resilient of all the situations of how you can create different venues and adjust.
Absolutely. You got to adapt.
Yes. And at the same time, because the hospitality industry was so hardly hit, what's the first thing? The first thing that the people closed was the hotels and the restaurants and, the bars and the clubs, and that was it. Yeah. So we were like hit first and open last.
Yeah.
So for us, it was very important to understand when to open. When was the right time to open? Because opening and closing would have been devastating for the business. So you can only open once. Again.
Right. So do it right.
And do it right. And then, we waited. I think that we waited the right amount of time, and December came, and we just, slapped it, and it was great. It's been fantastic because now it's even better. So it's great.
Yeah, thank God for that. Thank God for that. And I know you have different restaurants in different cities around the United States, but around the world. were some harder than others? Like I know LA is still kind of like weird with that and outside seating and
yes. That was very tough. Las Vegas, believe it or not, which is where my first chica is. Very, very, very hard. Yeah. And it was difficult. Now it's kind of coming back to I would say a normalcy.
Right.
Yeah. Slowly but surely, not the way that it was before, but you can see the trajectory that is definitely getting better and getting out of it. Yeah. But Miami was a blessing. Miami was a blessing.
Yeah, for sure. Miami never stopped.
Yeah, Miami was.
What is COVID? Oh my God! Yeah, the Latin people in here are like, COVID.
Tengo hambre.
Yeah.
Yo, Lorena, you mentioned strategizing, right? Like strategizing, like the new execution of how you're gonna do it, when you're gonna do it, how you do it. Us here, we all have like whiteboard meetings and stuff like that downstairs, and we write our ideas and all that stuff. Are you in it too, or do you have like everybody figure out? Tell me where, or do you like participating in that process?
I am in it.
I am hands on.
Yes. I like to be in it, and in each project, I like to be in it, but then I'm also able to get out and then let my team continue the vision, right?
You don't micromanage. You get the idea and let people do what they do.
It is important, yes. Right. It's important also to validate your team, and not only that, but being able to foresee everything else.
Right. And let people know that you trust them in what you do, porque no tan, what are you doing?
Sí.
It drives you crazy.
Y creo que una colaboración también.
Right.
I like to feel everybody validate ideas and everything, so it's, of course.
I mean, I would, Uly, if you let me, I want to alley-oop right now to a question I want to ask you for entrepreneurs looking at us right now. You know what I'm saying? That this episode is going to be, more driven into the chef, cooking, but, letting it rip season, anybody can relate to that. Whether you're a chef, whether you're a basketball player, whether you do anything. Right. So talking about business, what tip would you give to a young entrepreneur looking to let it rip, start something, in the hospitality business, something about some gems about that business that maybe you can, give a little tip or something.
Absolutely. I think it's like cooking. When you start like doing so many things and putting so much things in a sauce, then you don't even know what it tastes. So keeping it simple, I think that allows you to, I have a saying, I say it so many times, that is simplify, focus, and execute. I think that everybody that knows me has heard so many times, but it is so true. And I think for new entrepreneurs, that it should be an honor, because it worked for me. When you have an idea, you make it so incredible that then at the end, how do you start? Yeah. And the only way that you can start is you make it the smaller version of it is focus on it so you can really execute it. Once you're in it, it's like a baby. It just grows.
Simplify, focus, and execute. I love that. Yes. Guys, you hearing this? We need this. No, I really love that. Yeah, because when it comes to what I do also, it's keep it simple so you're there every day and you can make it, because the harder you put it on yourself, the less you want to do it. Then it becomes a job and you're like, I don't like this no more. So exactly. Keep it simple, focus on what you're doing so you're good at exactly what you're doing, and execute, go through with your plan. That's awesome.
Then it goes the prepreration and the dedication and all the things that you focus on to really go to the goal. Yes.
Man, that was awesome. That was a good gem right there.
Of course.
We're letting it rip.
Yes.
So 2002, you said that was the first restaurant you opened, was the one in the design district.
Yes, I'm telling you, $40,000. My best friend was the waiter, and I was cooking and prepping. It was incredible.
That's amazing.
Let me tell you.
Is he still around? Is your best friend still around?
Of course, he's one of my best friends right now.
Awesome.
Yes. And,
awesome.
and we remember, starting, and we'll do the prepping, and it was just so many stories that I have that we could spend the day. But yeah, I come from the kitchen, and television and everything else, I think, came back after. And I think that for me has been always keep it true to myself. Not really learning anything, but just feeling it and just going with who I am.
Absolutely.
And then having that true connection. It's a common thread with what I do, with my restaurants, with my book, and me. Yeah. So it's all about that energy to be, You
got a huge heart in you. I can see you put your heart into everything. That's amazing.
Yes.
And it's amazing. Man, listen, 18 years sounds like a lot. It's nothing. It's a blink of an eye. Yes. In 18 years, from 2002, 19 years now, 2021, you've opened multiple restaurants.
Yes.
First Latina woman in Las Vegas. You have 3 airport restaurants.
Yes.
Multiple restaurants. Listen, amazing what you've done, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. I can we open up a food truck or something? A hot dog stand or something, man. That's so awesome. Man. I mean, aside from your own in Miami, where would you tell where would you recommend to eat? Your favorite place? I know it's hard. I know I'm putting you on the spot because you're a food person. Got a ton of friends with restaurants. They're gonna watch this and be like, Lorena, what about me? Pero where would you say? I mean, and it could be anything simple from a food truck to a Prime 112. Let's say. What would you say?
Absolutely. Well, the first thing that I will say, you can get up and go to Moises Bakery, which is a little, maybe.
Where's Moises at?
in Collins, I think Collins.
Okay.
Okay.
And 70 something.
Okay.
And on the beach, and you can have the cachitos and the tequeños and the tres leches. It's so delicious. Just a little bit. Tu lío cortadito, tu café con leche venezolano. Oof. So, very, very delicious.
So it's like a Venezuelan spot?
Yes, it's a Venezuelan spot,
okay,
yes.
Cool.
Nice.
I think that probably we'll hit that. And, you can always go to El Palacio de los Jugos.
Oh, I live on a corner of one. I live on 50.
You know what I mean?
You guys gotta cut this out, but I live on.
That's another one that I definitely will recommend. And oh my God, there's so many. You can go to Chica, you can go to my restaurant. But, you said, no, that is not my restaurant. Mm-hmm. So I will say, listen, I love Makoto. I love MC Kitchen. I mean, these are all, great friends of mine. Bigger and Gray is great. It's actually in
I saw that. What was that? Is that Coral Gables or the...
Bigger and Great is in Wynwood in
Wynwood,
Midtown,
yeah. I saw that.
And aside from that, like, what does Lorena like to eat? What do you like to eat?
That was my next question right here. What's your favorite food? What's your comfort food? What's your go-to?
Yes.
I'm tired of everybody things. I want to eat some comfort food. What is Lorena's comfort food?
But, I love arepas.
Arepas? Yeah,
yes.
There you go. Yep,
I can have a reina pepiada. I can have una catira, una dominó, que es platanito con queso.
Dominó?
O la de carne mechada con queso Gouda. O una cachapa con queso de mano.
Cachapa.
You can hear that. My mouth is going...
unas empanaditas de carne molida.
I love, sorry to interrupt you. I love Venezuelan empanadas. I love it. And you guys got a nice little sauce always. It's all right with the chopped tomatoes and onions. I love it.
Yes. So that's
can't wait to win this fight.
So that's like that would be like your...
That's like indulgent, morning. But then, I think that what do I eat? I eat very homey, I will say, and very clean. I try to, I make food for my profession, but when I eat at home, I mean, I don't eat like that. So I try to. What I do is I cook fast, and anything that we want, from I don't know. I can tell you, like, I do a lot of chicken and fish and ground turkey.
We just tasted your chicken. It was amazing.
Those type of things, yes.
Wait, you know what? Now that you're saying that, and I've heard this from a lot of friends that work in kitchens. Let me know. You tell me, does it work for you? Where you're cooking all day, you got food in front of you all day, you're prepping, you're cooking, and you don't get hungry.
Exactly.
So you
absolutely.
Later on, maybe when you get home after being all day, I need to eat something. I haven't eaten all day.
That happens to me constantly.
Yeah, and then that's why you say that you would cook something that's fast because done.
Exactly. Yeah. So I try to be like a little bit more simple, and I've been testing all day, so I try to be active as well and do exercise. So try to put everything in,
Right.
If you eat everything that you make, we're rolling.
Yeah.
We're not a crane pick you up and put you over.
Exactly. So you have to train yourself not to.
Right.
Because that's another thing in my profession. Is
I would suck at being a chef. I mean,
let me see if it's
You're exposed to food all day long, 24/7.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to grab,
Absolutely.
and put things in your mouth without control. So you really have to be very aware of how you eat.
For sure. And you definitely got to be aware in the kitchen so you don't get burnt or cut or nothing like that. Lorena, how did the airport restaurants come about, man? That's huge. To be in airports, that's humongous. That's that's a big step in a career. How did that come about?
In my second restaurant, I had an open kitchen, and I was there in the kitchen, expediting, and a group of people, executives, came into my restaurant. They called for me, and I came out, and they said, Lorena, we're executives at the airport, and we want to know what would you serve in an airport. And I said, okay, great, let me cook. And I went in and I served them different things that they were easy to grab, that you can have on the go, that they were not too strong, so you can have on the plane. So for the traveler, little bites.
Not a lot of garlic or onions and something.
No.
Hi, how are you?
Can you imagine? No. We definitely. So they loved it, and that relationship grew. I've been with them for 15 years. It's been a fantastic run, and we continue to open restaurants there.
What airports are you in?
I am in Miami and Dallas and in Atlanta.
The 3 biggest ones. Yeah. that's awesome. That's awesome.
Lorena, you mentioned testing. So like, how does that work for like a chef? Like, for example, sale un nuevo iPhone. Yeah, they already know there's a new iPhone. Blah, blah. Does new fruits? Is there new vegetables? Are there new different things come out in the market? Like, how does that work in your line of work?
Well, in my line of work, I have to get inspired, and I think that I have a very specific style. I mean, when I cook, that it's my food. I think it's like every artist.
It's your stamp.
It's my stamp, right? So, techniques, and, you always continue to learn, but I am very much the type of food that I make is the type of food that you eat every day, that you can crave every day. I try to elevate it to the maximum, but still keep it approachable and accessible, right? And with that said, you can come to my restaurant from Monday to Sunday, have something different every day, and be delicious. It's not the type of restaurant that you go maybe once a month or maybe once every 3 months for a very big, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's very,
right.
that accessibility is important, but done very well.
Right.
I like it to make it to the highest.
Executed to perfection.
Yes, to the highest quality and with a lot of creativity. So for me, is continue to use my techniques and my knowledge in food to create new flavors, to create new things. For example, that sauce that you had probably is going to go in a marinade for something different that is going to be composed for a dish. So you'll never know where that little thing will make it, into a dish.
Can't wait to try it.
I'm gonna save one of the wings. I'm gonna save one.
Oh my God! I'm gonna put that wing in a frame in my house with the bones. Right? Signed by Lorena Garcia. Right there. Oh yeah, you have 2 books. You have 2 books published.
Yes, I'm a published book author. I have new.
Wow, what doesn't this lady do? It's amazing.
I'm a new Latin classics and new taco classics. So I did tons of research and travels, and it's wonderful to write a book. I'm actually working actively and planning myself to write my 3rd one. So it's exciting. It's one of those things that you find yourself as an artist and you find your voice and you just go for it.
That's awesome. Now that you said that, obviously you have to be well traveled, with different palates,
yes,
to find out what you like and what you can incorporate in your food. What places have you been to? I know you've been to a lot of places, but what places have you been to that kind of like impacted you? Obviously, like I would think from looking at from the outside in, I would say Mexico from the new taco classics. And I love Mexican food. I love tacos.
Yes,
they're great flavors.
So think about it. I'm classically trained.
Okay, that's French, correct?
Yes,
okay.
and I work in Paris at the Ritz for 6 months, and I did an internship, for almost a year in Italy with a 3-star Michelin chef. So I have a lot of classical training, but my upbringing, it's in Latin
Venezuela,
America.
Miami.
I spent 8 years in Argentina. Half of my family is Peruvian. I was born in Venezuela, so I have the northern part of Latin America. I also have the south, and I live in Miami, which is a melting pot of all the cultures that you can see.
Arroz con frijoles, una empanada, what's the
pastelito.
Un pastelito. Yeah, you get what's the fish? The Peruvian?
Sí, ceviche.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you see,
That's
so
awesome.
I am that. Yeah. I am the fusion of all these beautiful cultures into one. So that's why I'm a Latin American, and my restaurants are Latin American cuisine from that point of view. It's my interpretation of what this melting pot of cultures mean.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
awesome. Amazing. No, it's amazing. It's amazing. I get hungrier every word I say.
Every minute that passes by, I look at that flan right there, and I'm
every
like, yo,
time we mention something new and she says where she's from and a new flavor, a new book, I'm like,
no, he's gonna say, I don't care about the diet. Give me those wings.
Yeah.
Trust me, Lorena, I'm enjoying the process of this. Of this vibe, because you've done a lot in your career. And what better person than to get motivated from or get any advice from than an amazing, strong entrepreneur woman. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I think in the last, I would say 15 to 20 years, the food scene has exploded. Where I would see like people my age and younger are now opening food trucks. The food channel itself and the travel channel is all about food and trying different things from around the world. And people's eyes and brains are opening up to more palettes and more flavors. So it's an amazing thing. Food is something that brings everybody together, which is an awesome thing also.
Absolutely, right? All the meetings and all the parties are in the kitchen when you have your friends over, right? So everything kind of...
Exactly.
We're natural entertainers.
Exactly.
No, and Lorena's been like a pioneer of
Absolutely.
the chef movement. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Of everything you just mentioned. So that's pretty awesome.
A living legend, man. It's amazing.
No, man. Come on.
And I don't say that lightly, man. You really are. You really are.
For real.
Lorena, what's the future for Lorena Garcia? I mean, it's hard to fit anything in your future. You've done everything already. But no, what do you got going on? What can we look forward to?
Absolutely. I'll continue work on Doña Rosario Latin Delights. You know, that's my brand. More chicas to come. We're going to expand, now that kind of we're getting out of this situation, we continue to expand program to Chicago, to go to LA, to go offshore also with Chica. So very excited about that. I am just literally also working with Johnson & Wales University as part of their trustees. So, it's a wonderful honor that I have with them. So, it's interesting to see how you can continue to grow. Also wanted to write my next book and, continue to create and continue to cook and be a mom. My son, it's everything to me. So,
awesome.
So in all that, I'm a mom.
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. On top of everything she's accomplished, she's also a mother, which is a huge accomplishment in itself. It's and a reward. That's awesome. And let me ask you, with all the chicas and all the restaurants and everything, do you help employ a lot of women? Because I know
yes.
we used to be a real male driven industry.
It is.
And now you're the woman at the top, so you help a lot of women out employing them stuff.
I one of my key is really having, and you go to my kitchen, we have a lot of females.
Bueno, we have, man.
Yeah. The restaurants también in the kitchen, yes, it's something that we like to support. The name of the restaurant is Chica, so it's a female restaurant, so it's definitely important to us.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. Can you let people know where we could find Lorena Garcia's kitchen? Is there one in Miami? Do you have a restaurant down here?
Yes. Yeah. Chica Miami. We're in the Upper East Side, in the height of 54th and Biscayne Boulevard.
Okay.
Super cool restaurant. You can also
That's
check out.
awesome.
You can also check out in the Venetian Resort in Las Vegas.
I'll be there again soon. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
You can also find Doña Rosario, and then you can follow in all my. I also have. I'm a producer also, with different shows, and I'm in Nickelodeon right now. I'm produced a show that is called Cocinando con Lorena. So we have it in Latin America with all the artists from Nickelodeon. So I am cooking with my kids, cooking with Leonardo, and then another one. So that's running. So you have all these kids recipes coming from a foundation, Big Chef Firu Chef, and it's all about cooking with the kids and going back to basics of cooking. So that's actually on the air, and all my social media handles, Chef Lorena.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Guys, listen.
Thank you for letting me be here with you guys. I'm so honored.
No. Hey, we're honored. It's amazing to have you here. Like I said, I've really been watching you for years. You are a legend. I know, I mean? I know you won't accept it, but we're going to tell you are. You are. And it's amazing. And I really look forward to winning this fight and going to your kitchen and sitting there with you and watching the preparation.
Remind me. When are we gonna do this? And we'll make it happen.
I fight May 21st at the Hard Rock. I would love for you to be there, Mike. Let's get her there, and then after we'll celebrate in the next couple of days.
I love it. We'll end it right there.
Guys, man, this has been episode 18 of Don't Blink with Lorena Garcia, man, a top chef, a master. Yeah, we got something for you here.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
What?
You are a monster,
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Thank you so much.
Hold on, because before we go, we gotta do one more thing. This is a huge part of the show, and I got so caught up with the food and you, and I fanboyed out, and I forgot a big part of the show.
We're gonna take it.
Yeah, huge part of the show is we talk about UFOs, and I'll tell you why. Because when Donald Trump signed the COVID bill. It was a $2.3 million COVID bill. In there, he put that 180 days after signing that, he had to release all UFO information, right? So we're down to 71 days left, and I like to ask my guests, I believe, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. I grew up with God, and do right, be good to people, they're good back to you. But I believe in UFOs a little bit. I believe in aliens. I don't know what's out there. I think we can't be the only things on this universe, and we keep finding new universes out there. Do you think about that ever? Has it ever crossed your mind? Or?
Yes, of course.
Awesome.
And I cannot simply believe that we're alone. Of course not. Yeah. I mean, the universe is so big. Why would we think that it's just us?
Absolutely.
It's impossible.
I wonder what they ate.
Right?
No, thank you again for being here, man. You're awesome.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to have you at the fight. I can't wait to taste your food.
Are you kidding me? I'm so excited. Oh my goodness.
Well, look, we're gonna have a fight downstairs. Me and you, we're gonna have a don't blink contest downstairs.
Let's do it.
We're gonna have a
awesome.
I'm gonna try the flan.
Yep.
And I'm gonna continue devouring the winks.
Dale, you gotta take a piece of the flan while you're doing the don't blink contest, I think.
Damn, you set me up for failure.
I'm so excited.
I kind of want her to win. I ain't gonna lie.
Boom!
Guys, this has been episode 18 of Don't Blink, man. Me and Two Nice always in the building. Lorena Garcia today. Legendary chef, man. Go check out her restaurant, Chica. You can find it almost anywhere.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Tune in. Bow!
I think me and Two Nice got something great going on. We got some great guests coming up. It's gonna be dope. We got some dope people that already signed up to do it with us, which is great. A lot of people show us love, and it's because we love them back for sure.